Hello everybody and welcome to this week's video. As you can see in the title, I am tackling the remaining fantasy books on my TBR this week with a couple extras, I won't lie. So, on the roster this week, first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, my TBR is currently sitting at 21 books. I am currently reading actually The Sunday Garden by Ashley Poston, which is why it's one book less than last week. But I'm buddy reading that, so it's not going to be in this video. But 21 books is not bad. And I have 4 fantasy books left on my TBR, plus 2 that I've pre-ordered and come out in August. One of which is already available on Kindle Unlimited and one of which I have the ARC for. So, if I do this logically, I can knock off the 2 books that I've pre-ordered, and so they will not be added to my TBR, and I can get rid of the 4 books that are still on my TBR as we speak. So, the first book I'll be tackling is Monsoon Rising by Thea Guzman. I can't say her name. I've now heard it several times because I'm audiobooking this and I still can't do it. Guanzon. Thea Guanzon is how I'm saying it. This is the sequel to The Hurricane Wars, which I obviously read and enjoyed last month. I figured strike while the iron's hot, let's get cracking on this one. I am currently 105 pages in because I went on the bus a lot today, so I was audiobooking the whole time I was out because I was getting my nails done. Look how cool they are. They're like the magnet ones. But this is obviously a continuation of that, so it is following someone. It's following Alaric and Taliesin. I'm basically really bad with fantasy book names. They all look like keyboard smashes to me. But we're following Alaric and Taliesin, who have just got married. That's not a spoiler. The first book is a marriage of convenience, or a forced marriage. That's not what it's called. Arranged marriage, that's what it's called. It's an arranged marriage, essentially. So we are picking up right where we left off, and it's already fantastic. I'm really enjoying this. And I do think audiobooking is helping. Oh my god, it's blurbed by one of my favourite fantasy authors, Danielle L. Jensen. So I'm really enjoying this, and I will be audiobooking this some more. I'm actually going up to London for Bruno Mars tomorrow, so I have a lot of time on a coach to look forward to. But I'm going to continue audiobooking this on the coach, so hopefully I'll have this finished by Thursday, because that is when I'm coming back. So that's that one. Then the other 3 books on my fantasy TBR currently are actually all in a series, and it is the Ashes of Thersmar series by Helena Schura, which I obviously loved The Legends of Thersmar. So why have I not read these yet? Who knows? But I'm very excited because Iron and Embers, which is book 1, and Thorns and Fire, which is book 2, are both on Kindle Unlimited. So I'm definitely going to read those 2. I don't know if I'm going to get to book 3 just because it's not on Kindle. But I'm very excited to read all of these. These follow the sister of our main character from The Legends of Thersmar. So The Legends of Thersmar follows Thea, and The Ashes of Thersmar follow Ren, who is more into alchemy than fighting. So I'll be interested to see how that goes. And I've heard a lot of people have said that this is better than The Legends of Thersmar. And The Legends of Thersmar is already like a 5-star series for me. So if this is better than that, I'm missing out. I'm missing out if I don't read this. So those are also on the roster. And then as for the 2 books I don't own currently but have pre-ordered, the first one is A Fellowship of Curses and Cats by Jay Penner, which is book 4, I believe, in the Adenashire series, which is like a cozy fantasy series that I really enjoy. So I'm definitely going to check that out, and I believe it's quite short, which is helpful. And finally, and most excitingly, I mentioned it in my last video, but I have got the ARC for Earthbound by Sarah El Arifi, which is the 3rd and final book in the Faebound trilogy. I screamed. I literally screamed when I saw I had the ARC come through, so I'm definitely going to read that. I don't know. I mean, part of me is like, stay up late and read it tonight, but I have a busy day tomorrow. So I'd love for that to be the book I start with, though. That'd be so fun. I don't think I'm going to be able to contain myself. I might have to start that one tonight. But those are the 6 books on my roster for this week. I'm hoping I can get to them. I'm hoping I can get to them. I'll probably, like, if all goes to plan, I'll definitely include Monsoon Rising, Earthbound, Iron and Embers, and A Fellowship of Curses and Cats in this video specifically. And then I might have to just put Thorns and Fire, Silver and Smoke somewhere else, just read them in my own time. But that is the plan. And if all goes to plan, I will only have 17 books left on my TBR by the end of July, which would be delightful because I want to read all of the remaining books on my TBR in August. So I need to set myself up for success here, guys. But I think that's all I have to say for the intro. Let's crack on with some reading, and I'll get back to you with updates on Monsoon Rising and whatever else I pick up in the meantime. So it's been a couple days. I finished Monsoon Rising because I was audiobooking that. I think I mentioned I was going to listen to it on the coach to London. I did do that and I did finish it. And I think I'm going to settle on giving it a 4-star. I'm pretty sure the Hurricane Wars was also a 4-star from me. It is interesting. It needs like a little zhuzh. I feel like it's missing something, but I don't know what. I really like the characters. Alaric is really growing on me, actually. As the love interest, I'm enjoying him a lot more. I think having his perspective maybe helped a lot with that in the second book. I'm loving it. The tension is tensioning. And now I really hope I get approved for the arc of This Shattered Tempest, which I believe is the name of book 3. Because I need it now, actually. So I did finish that. I have since gone on to start reading Earthbound by Sarah El Arifi, which we all know. I was very excited about getting the arc for that one. And I am about halfway through it now. So for those who don't know, Earthbound is book 3, the final book in the Feybound trilogy. Feybound follows 2 Fays. Yirin and Lettel, they are sisters. Yirin is a warrior and Lettel is a diviner, so she can tell the future, kind of. Like, she can read prophecies from the fates. And they end up having to leave the Fey community to... I can't remember why they leave, actually. Basically, they leave, though. And they end up in Mosima, which is the elf community, and like the Fae and the elf have been at war for years, like hundreds of years. So that is kind of where Feybound takes us. Obviously a lot more has happened since book 1. This is now book 3. I am loving it. There's a lot going on. My mind has been blown multiple times now. I'm literally 50% through. I stopped at 50% because I was like, otherwise I'm going to finish this book without even telling you guys I've started it. Yeah, I'm loving it. I love the dynamic between Yirin and Fury. Fury is the queen of the elves. I love, Lettel has a love interest called, I think it's pronounced Rayan, and I want to see them interact. I need to see it. There's a plot line about the humans that used to exist, and that is fascinating me as well. There's a nomad community that we're seeing a lot of. There's so much going on. My little brain can't take it, but I'm loving it. Safe to say I'm really enjoying it. I don't think it's quite 5-star. I mean, we'll see how it ends, but I am really, really enjoying it. So I'm very happy to have the arc of that and to have started it. That is my plan for the rest of the day, though. I just need to finish Earthbound, and then realistically I won't do this, but I would also like to start Iron and Embers by Helen Shura tonight, because I know I'm running out of time for this video, because I want to have it done before I go on holiday Friday, because I have a different video I'm filming on holiday which requires different books. So that's the plan. There's a lot to do. It's currently Monday and I have at least 3 more books that I wanted to read for this video that I don't think I'm going to get to, but that's fine. So fine. I'm going to finish Earthbound. I will get back to you hopefully later today with my final thoughts on that, and I will hopefully start Iron and Embers tonight. As you can see, I'm now back home. It is only 1 day after the last clip, and I did indeed finish Earthbound. And I think I'm going to settle on a 4, if I'm being really picky, a 4.25. But I really enjoyed it, first and foremost, really enjoyed it. I love Lettel as a character. She's my favourite. I love Euron and Fury's dynamic. I think there should have been more of Rhaen. I think we were missing him a bit. And I was intrigued by Alda. I loved all of the stuff about Alda. That was excellent. The one downside for me, which is why it's not a 5-star, is it was just really slow to start. I struggled to get into it straight away. But that being said, a 4.25 is still an incredibly good book. So next on my roster, which I think I mentioned yesterday, is of course Iron and Embers by Helen Shearer, the spin-off to the Legends of Thesmar series, which I think is called The Ashes of Thesmar. Yeah. And I believe this one follows Ren, who is the sister of the main character in the Legends of Thesmar, and Torge, who is another war sword from this kingdom world. Yeah, I'm very excited to dive into this. It's fucking massive though. This is a huge book. And I think I'm gonna struggle because I want to read this in one day. And it's currently like 2 p.m. So I'm excited though, because all I've heard about this is it's better than the Legends of Thesmar, and the Legends of Thesmar is like a 5-star series for me. So I'm excited. And this one follows more like alchemy, which I don't think I've read anything fantasy wise that focuses on alchemy rather than warriors, so I'm definitely intrigued to read that. And I wonder if it's going to overlap with the Legends of Thesmar, because I know there was a little bit of setup for Torge and Ren in the last book, so I'm definitely intrigued to see where this starts. I'm really worried about not being able to finish all of these books by Thursday, really, because I go on holiday Friday. So I really need to get reading. I might have to do a 24-hour readathon. This is going to be stressful. So I'm going to crack on with this. I've already marked it as reading on Goodreads, which is a lie because I haven't started it. But I'm going to start it now. I've put my bookmarking ready to tell me what chapter I need to stop at once I've got to 100 pages. And then I will do something else, and then do another 100 pages, do something else. I just find that's the best way to get through reading and also sorting all my stuff out, because I have a lot of stuff in my room right now. I am selling a bunch of stuff for a bunch of people on Vinted. If you need any clothes, there's loads on my Vinted. Please check it out. My Vinted is always linked down below. But yeah, I just need it all shifted. It's taking up my entire floor in my bedroom, which is really stressing me out right now. So that's my task, is read this and sort my bedroom out before I go on holiday. So that was a lot of talking, but I'm going to crack on with this now, and I will catch up with you hopefully either later today or tomorrow morning when I've finished it. I have about 130 pages left of Iron and Embers, and I really don't know how I feel. I really don't know how I feel. I was like, I'll keep putting off filming my midway update because I was like, I need to do one because this book's huge, until I know how I feel, and it's just not happened yet. So kind of fun. The best way I think I can summarize Iron and Embers, so we're following Ren, who is an alchemist. She has been poisoning people for the past 5 years, and suddenly her former mentor has been like, hey, here's your letter of recommendation to go to that alchemy school you really want to go to, off you go, but you need to take a wall sword with you, you need to take a bodyguard. And that's where Torge comes in. So that's like, okay, at the start, that's the premise. It's just a bit boring. I'm not really vibing with it the same way I was the Legends of Thesmar. I think maybe the warrior aspect is what was keeping me so interested in that series. The alchemy side of things, not so much. I feel like I'm reading a textbook a lot of the time, because it is explaining obviously different flowers and how they can be used in these elixirs, and I just don't care. I just don't care. And I don't like Torge as much as I liked Wilder, which is the love interest from the Legends of Thesmar. I don't think I like Ren as much as I liked Thea. Bonus points for having Cal and Kip in this story though. We all know I love Cal and Kip, my favourite side characters, my besties. I want a book about them. I want a book entirely about Cal and Kip. That's what I want from Helen Shearer next, please. Yeah, I am struggling though. It's taking me a really long time to read it, not only because it's like 500 and something pages long, but also just because I'm not into it. I am gonna finish it, but I make no promises as to whether or not I'm picking up the next book. This is really stressful because I'm in a real unhaul mood. You guys know this. It's been a while. And I just think if I don't like this book, I'm gonna unhaul the whole series because I don't want to put a load of effort into reading these fucking massive books if I'm not enjoying them. So that's kind of my update. There's other bits going on. There's like a plot to kill the royals, and Ren is a royal. So there's that going on, and she's been tasked with trying to figure out how they're doing this, like what poison they're using. So that's kind of interesting, I suppose, but I feel like the stakes aren't high enough. It's really smutty, which normally I'm not against, but I just feel like it's a bit... like I'm not interested. I don't know how to explain it. I don't find Torge attractive. Like, the way he's being described is just not for me. So that's not helping. But yeah. This is kind of a sad update because I really love the Legends of Thersmar, and everyone said that the Ashes of Thersmar are even better, and I'm not seeing that. So I'm going to finish Iron and Embers. I'll get back to you when I have fully formed thoughts on that, and I will let you know if I'm continuing the series or not. I really hope I am, but equally, I don't really want to. But I'll get back to you when I finish that later today. It will be later today because I can do 100 and something pages. I've read like 300 pages today already. So also I'm probably just burnt out. But I don't have time to be burnt out because I need to finish this by tomorrow. By tomorrow. Crazy. Right. I'll see you later. Right. It's a bit later in the day. I did indeed finish Iron and Embers, and I think I'm settling on giving this like a 3.5. Generously, because I didn't care for the plot. I don't like the characters together. Like, I don't think Ren and Torge are a good pairing. There's a guy in this called Xavier who I think it would be a much better love interest for this story. I think he's way more interesting, and I think he's a better fit. Yeah, I just don't like Torge. Like Ren and Torge as a couple. It's no, not for me. And I was just bored throughout the whole thing. I was really dragging my feet having to read this. So 3.5 is where I sit with this. Now, I've also read just over 100 pages of Thorns and Fire, which is book 2. I really love the cover and the colour of this book, which is why it pains me to say I'm DNFing it. I just don't want to pick it up. I don't want to read it. I still don't like Torge and Ren as a pairing. It's just not for me. If I compare how I felt reading The Legends of Thersmar to how I feel reading the Ashes of Thersmar, stark contrast. I couldn't put The Legends of Thersmar down, and I currently am struggling to pick the Ashes of Thersmar up. So I just don't think this is for me. And I'm really gutted because there was some moments in the first 100 pages of this that I really liked because they had all of the characters back together. They had Thea and Wilder and Kip and Cal and a new character called Detta who I quite like. But I don't want a whole book where it's just Ren and Torge being snarky with each other. It's not the kind of enemies to lovers that I like because it's just pissing me off. I've already had a whole book of that. Let's move on. There were some interesting elements that I won't mention because they're spoilers. There's, I'd like to know the resolution. I'm assuming that it all gets resolved in book 3, but I just don't care enough to keep reading it. And I'm really gutted because, as I said, I love The Legends of Thersmar. I was very excited to read these. I heard nothing but good things about them, and frankly, the covers are gorgeous. And look at the fucking hardcover as well. That's so cool, and I don't want them on my shelf because I didn't like them. I just didn't. There's no point me continuing a series where I'm almost certain every book is going to be a 3. So that is that. And I think that's going to be the end of this video because I'm a little bit burnt out with fantasy. That's potentially why I'm not enjoying the Ashes of Thesmar the way I thought I would. Maybe I've overdone it by reading so much fantasy back to back. But just to recap the other books that I read in this video, obviously I had Monsoon Rising by Thea something. I still can't pronounce her name. I've tried really hard, guys. I did really like this one. This I found more compelling than the first book. This is the sequel to the Hurricane Wars. I think I've mentioned that at least twice already. I like the tropes in this one. I like the like enemies to lovers-ish stuff in here. It feels like the stakes are higher in this one. I don't feel the stakes in the Ashes of Thesmar. So this one I think I gave a 4, didn't I? And of course I read the arc of Earthbound, which I gave a 4.25 because I adored it. That was a great ending to the series and I'm really happy that I read it. So with that said, that is the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed and I will see you next week with another video. Bye!